It was Tuesday. A couple came in with a stroller and a baby. I greeted them with a very serious face and said, "I am so sorry, but Tuesday is no baby day." The ladies looked at me and said, "Really? On Tuesday?" I held the serious face for one more second, then smiled and winked. They started laughing right away. That is when you know the joke landed. Nobody got hurt, the baby stayed, and Tuesday was officially saved. Another day, a couple came in for documents. I looked at them and said, "I am so sorry, but we are out of paper today. So unfortunately, we will not be able to do any documents." The lady looked shocked. The husband started laughing. Then I laughed too, and she realized we were pulling her chain. Sometimes all you need is one serious face and a completely impossible sentence. One weekend at breakfast, my wife said she would like chicken with her eggs. I said, "Are you sure?" She said yes. I said, "Because I could just give you 4 eggs. That would be a lot easier. Same family. Less paperwork." My wife said she wanted her steak red. So I went outside, brought the cow in, handed her a knife and fork, and said, "Fresh it is." Sometimes you should be careful how you order. People say smoking can kill you. I agree. But honestly, a wife can do the same thing with one look. No smoke. No fire. Just the look. And somehow, you already know you are guilty. Do you know why the cat crossed the road? Because he was hungry, and the chicken was ahead. Someone asked if I had my cataracts removed. I said yes, and not only that, I got the superpower lenses. They said, "Superpower lenses?" I said yes. I can replace them like a phone SIM card. Mine go beside the eyes. Sometimes I wear X-ray vision lenses. Then I leaned in and said, "The best part is, no one can tell which ones I am wearing." That usually creates a very quiet moment. The other day, I was crossing the road and saw a chicken. So I picked it up and brought it back to the other side. I figured that is what chickens do. They cross roads. Maybe this one was confused. But as soon as I put it down, it turned on me. That chicken went from confused pedestrian to street fighter in 2 seconds. Now I understand why the chicken crossed the road. It was looking for trouble. My wife said, "Let's go for a walk." I said, "For sure. You can go for a walk." Then I opened the door, and she went out. 10 minutes later, she came back and asked, "Are you coming?" I said, "Where?" Apparently, "let's go for a walk" means both people. I learned that later. I am still disturbed by something. When I am driving, people say the tires are moving. But I have proof they are not. I drove about 100 feet, stopped the vehicle, got out, looked at the tires, and they were not moving. So either science is lying, or my tires are very sneaky. My wife has a special talent. When she passes gas, it can be loud enough to announce itself, strong enough to clear 2 blocks, and powerful enough to remove all mosquitoes from the area. Me? I can only do 1 room. So clearly, she is operating at a professional level. One day, I whispered to a lady, "Excuse me, there is someone following you. Do you know him?" She looked at me and said, "I don't know him. Please throw him out." I looked at her husband and said, "Sir, you are in a very bad spot. Is there any chance of saving your position?" She laughed so hard. Then they hugged. That is when you know the marriage is still alive. Another man was looking for his wife. I said, "Look carefully. There are many wives here. Pick one, but make sure you pick the right one." As soon as I said that, several women turned around smiling. Except one woman. She looked at him and gave him the finger signal to come over. I said, "There she is." That is not a suggestion. That is a command. He went right away. A wise husband understands body language. And that, my friends, is how you survive the world with a straight face and a very flexible sense of logic. Stay curious. Stay dangerous. And whatever you do, never order your steak red.